Hello everyone, my name is Velvet Moon and welcome to my video. I usually stream on Twitch, mainly Minecraft, but I'm planning on streaming the new nation coming out, so keep an eye out. This is a video essay about my experiences playing Genshin Impact, the story so far, and what I've taken away from this game. I do want to say most of this is a personal essay, one that includes my perspective and opinion. If I get something wrong, please let me know. I'm not an expert at anything, literally anything. This is just a passion project. I started playing Genshin Impact in 2024 due to being bored for not having enough shifts at work at the time. I am very particular about which media I consume, so with me knowing I could get into something, I have to be very picky, because I tend to hyperfixate on the media I consume. Years before, especially during the pandemic, I have heard about this game through the grapevine. I distinctly remember seeing one of the creators I follow, Murder of Birds, who made a video about Genshin Impact. I watched a few minutes but was confused because, well, he was in Fontaine, so obviously I didn't get it at the time. Other clips came up as well from time to time, but I didn't pay much mind to them. That was until I was searching for a cheap game to play on my PlayStation. I came across Genshin in the free games section, and after reading it, I shrugged my shoulders and decided to download it. A day later, as that was how long it took to download, I played. I started the game completely blind, choosing Lumine as my traveler, and set off into the world. I played up until you split off from Mondstadt to go to the 3 temples, and stopped there. I was overwhelmed and underwhelmed. I had heard such great things about this game, and all I got was a confusing game system, a seemingly generic story, and lacking game graphics. I realize now, after playing, that it was just due to its age, and I don't hold it against it. That's just what happens when time passes. The game looks amazing today, but looks vastly different in a couple years. I left the game idle for several months, until later that year when, for reasons I forget, I picked it up again. The gaming system, like the leveling system, constellations, and what made a good item or character were still confusing. But I pushed past it and played. For one reason or another, I kept playing. Then I reached Leeway and things started to take a turn. I fell in love with Leeway and the characters, with the first character I really loved being Zhongli. The game system still bothered me, but the story was slowly hooking me in. What really made me frustrated, though, was certain quests were locked behind levels for adventure rank and other things. I understand why it's there now, but when you have such little understanding of the system, it's difficult. I know I could just look up something, but at the time I wanted to learn by myself, and I don't like looking up for help unless I'm become too frustrated, which is just how I work. Inazuma was something I glossed over as I was really interested in the story, but it seemed rushed. There were moments I enjoyed, but I just wish there was more. Then I got to Sumeru, and everything solidified. By that point, I had leveled up enough that moving about and doing quests was easy. And what got me into it was the Archon quest. It was the stuff I loved. I'm not nearly as smart as the characters of this region, but even I could follow along with their logic and plans. Ancient Egypt was a hyperfixation as a kid, and having half the nation have that inspiration was gah! The characters were lovable, especially Alhazen, Candace, and Layla. I mean, look at them. So handsome and cute. Pardon me. Moving on. This was the nation that sparked my love for Genshin Impact and skyrocketed it towards one of my favorite games of all time. After this point, I played every day and consumed the world quests and Archon quest with glee. Well, except for the R&R quest. Like, I got so lost that I just skipped through the dialogue because it was just so much. I mean, 50 hours. 50! And I couldn't just keep up with the lore, so I just let it go. Now after this, I went to Fontaine, and it was even better than Sumeru in my opinion. Neuvillette, Farina, and Risley were my favorites, with Emily and Escoffier coming in second tier. The stories were amazing, the Archon quest made me cry, and the exploration was unique and fun. Fontaine is another place I could hyperfixate on, due to my love of historical Europe being a hyperfixation as a kid. I was a history nerd, sue me. It brought my expectations high for this game. Now, I had heard of criticism about Natlan before going in. To be honest, Natlan wasn't my favorite, but I loved the characters. The world design and the Archon quest was interesting and worth applause. The other regions with the old Dragon Nation were fascinating and fun to explore. Natlan was enjoyable, but Liyue, Fontaine, and Sumeru will always be my favorites. I didn't get why people hated the character designs, as I thought they were unique and cool. I mean, the nation doesn't really interact with the rest of the world for a good reason. So of course they look different because their society was so closed off. You can tell by how they're designed. Finally, Nodcry is my first nation, or sub-nation, I suppose, that I watched the teaser trailers, the special programs, and all the things that led up to the new nation. It was made even better by the fact that this was the Moon Nation, and as someone who has a pretty big fixation on all things moon-related, aesthetics, or the moon itself otherwise, I was in love. The moon-related characters are some of my favorite characters, with Llama, Zabai, Kalabina, and the Moon Sisters being top tier for me. This nation hit all the marks for me, with interesting lore, cool battles, and amazing Archon quests. Nodcry is my top favorite nation, and I don't think this will ever change, at least until Shnesnaya comes out, but we'll see. Editor Velvet here. I don't know how I forgot to mention this, but I forgot to mention the music. Like, holy schnanoli. Hoyo Mix, you are the kings and queens of music. Amazing work. I love it. I love all of it. I don't have any bad thing to say about it. Keep up the good work. You're amazing. Alright, let's continue with the video. Genshin Impact, as a whole, has been a comforting game for me for the past few years. As someone who came halfway through, it makes me sad that I didn't pick this up earlier, because I would have loved this game during the pandemic, as those years were very hard for me personally, and I would have loved it then. Some of the things I mentioned, like the leveling system and some of the quests, left much to be desired, but it comes with the game, and I can live with it. I've fallen in love with this game, the characters, and the story. Is everything perfect? No. Nothing can be perfect, but it's all about perspective. Each of us have lived unique lives, meaning we can all look at the same piece of media and draw similar or wildly different conclusions. And isn't that amazing? We can disagree and not bring each other down. I'm sure this hasn't been the most in-depth of a read of a game. And as someone who struggles with social interactions and knowing what different cues mean, I can admit when I don't understand the deeper meaning of certain things or take things out of the deeper context. But this is why we have other creators in the space, to bring their perspective and knowledge to the mass fandom to enlighten and enrich our lives. I've learned how deep this game is from them, but I also wanted to share how this game has moved me to see the new stories and perspectives, and even if I have a hard time understanding them, I still enjoy them. Thank you all for listening to me ramble on for so long. I hope you enjoyed this essay about how much this game means to me, how I have fallen in love with this game, and how I hope for the future that this game will continue to wow and amaze me. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want more from me. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!
I'm only here for the party. Trust me, we just getting started.